at all! Now, Mike Burney's crossed swords with this baby already. He's going to tell you a bit more about the car I'm about to try and tame.
This is going to be a manic one. It's a Speed 12, but not as you might know it. It looks like something that's come straight out of Gran Turismo, but it's been developed by the guys at Helical Engineering to be an homage to the original Cerbera Speed 12. The big differentiator is under the bonnet. Instead of a 7-litre naturally aspirated V12, in there is a 6-litre twin turbo V12 straight out of an Aston, tuned to 1,000 brake horsepower. Ben, 1,000 horsepower, roughly 1,300 kilograms. This thing should be Veyron quick, right?
Well, it's got the same amount of power as the original Veyron. Weighs less because it doesn't have the four-wheel drive system, I suppose. But that's a lot of traction you've got to expect from the rear axle to put up with 1,000 horsepower on a slippery track when it's 1 degree.
It is quite chilly today, but everyone says that Dunsfold is a power track. Koenigsegg's, SF90s. It should fit into that same fold.
I mean, not always known for good handling characteristics.
Okay.
So you've driven this.
I've driven it down a runway,
yeah.
Up and down a runway.
Have you? That's brave. It's going to be really interesting to see. I'm curious, I mean, how much of this downforce is going to really ratchet this car into the ground? And how much of that traction can actually be put to the pavement is going to be a mystery to me until I get going.
Okay, my thoughts are, you've driven TVRs in the past, I know you're not the biggest fan. I don't think this will feel like them. I think this will feel more like a GT1 car than a Tuscan.
GT1 car, like race car?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's do it. Oh, steering. Oh, holy moly.
Yes, it's rear-wheel drive, yes, it's manual versus all-wheel drive DSG, but I reckon that thing should be able to take on a Veyron. Maybe not today, we should have done this in July.
Absolutely follows in the bloodline of every TVR I've driven, which effectively at all times wants to kill you. It's got the turning circle of an oil tanker and a lot of power, which is quite difficult to control.
The SF90 has actually been dislodged as the road legal record holder here. The Koenigsegg Jesko Attack is coming down at 110.9. We're not getting close to that today.
I'm not quite sure how much power I'm putting into this sucker at any given time. And there's a lot of funky sounds coming from them turbos. That's understeer. That's oversteer.
I'd say the closest car in the Top Gear record list to this thing is probably the Dodge Viper ACR. Big engine up front, manual gearbox, rear wheel drive, tries to kill you. That thing did a 115.1, but this has got 400 horsepower-ish more.
I love the ingenuity, the plucky British spirit that's behind this car, but it's such a beast. And again, because the weight's in the front, this car just wants to wag its tail. It's really difficult to tune. Easy-going handling into a rear-wheel drive monster with all that weight in the front axle. TVR, yeah, totally and very ridiculous. I know that the TVR has a lot of British fans. It harks to our traditions of suffering, waiting and celebrating that one day in 60 when the sun comes out, following the sort of footsteps of the Ford Capri and eating fish and chips out of yesterday's newspaper. It's the people's champion. Doesn't change the fact that the handling is evil and the cars are usually unreliable. Top speed is alleged to be in excess of 200 miles an hour. No one's ever talked to the guy that did it. He was never seen again.
After some pretty hairy sighting laps, it was time for Ben to lay down a lap time. 3, 2, 1. That is not the quickest way to start. We should get behind the barrier, quick. I think he's struggling a bit with the front end. I think it's not switching on, as racing drivers would say. This is the fastest bit of the lap. It's gonna absolutely sing through here. Go on, Ben. No ABS, no traction control. Here he comes. Oh no. Go straight on.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
He's gonna need a push.
I would have got away with this, but I got slightly stuck. So I'm sorry for getting it muddy.
What happened?
I thought I had that. I was quite surprised. I just locked up on a wet patch. I thought I better just take it straight, but it spun. So anyway, it's fun and games. She's fruity.
We'll count that as lap 0.
Let's not count that.
Let's get lap 1 in.
Delete the footage.
When planning DRIVETRIBE videos, I'm constantly using this and this, and something that can completely slow down my day is spam. Texts, phone calls, emails. I imagine it's a huge annoyance in your day-to-day too. The horrible thing is these companies probably bought your information, your name, age, address, email address, phone number, even your browsing history. The good thing is you can request that your information is taken off of these spam lists, but doing it yourself can be really time consuming and slow. The sponsor of today's video, Incogni, is a tool that can take you off these lists. You sign up for Incogni, give them permission to act on your behalf, and they'll get grafting, removing your information from the spammers. Within your profile, there's a dashboard that keeps you up to date with how many requests they've sent out, how many have been successful, and how many they are still working on. Spammers can increase your insurance premium by sharing around your browsing history. That sucks. Let's not let that be a thing. Through their annual plan, Incogni will constantly monitor where your information is and get it removed. To take back your privacy then, visit incogni.com/DRIVETRIBE and use the discount code DRIVETRIBE to get 60% off your annual plan. 3, 2, 1, go! You can hear the car wheel spinning in every gear, every single one. Oh, he's sideways down the back straight. That had to be over 100 miles an hour. Oh, big lock up, big lock up. Go on, man, yeah. It's really not quick. Ben, I don't know what you were doing out there. That was a 1:37.9. Never mind Bugatti.
What?
You're the same time as a Saab 9.5 Aero.
You get in and I'll show you. I can't believe it's that slow. I'll go faster than that, but you get in the car and find out what it's like.
Oh my God! Into Hammerhead! Down a gear! Down 2! Oh, oh we've gone! We've gone! Big grass! Did I cross the line? Sadly, the conditions simply didn't allow the car to grip up any further, so a 1:37.9 was the time set. At the start of the day, we were thinking Veyron. By the end of the day, we had to settle for barely pipping an EP3 Civic.
Now you know what I'm dealing with.
I get it, I get it.
And I'm actually glad for the misfire. That's the closest thing to traction control this thing has got.
Can I say, big respect to the Saab 9.5 Aero. That's clearly one hell of a car. Oh, there's a bit of downforce there, there's a bit. Whoa.